Can I just take a minute, please? Fourth. Coffee. Check. James Lawrence Allcott. Check. Crinkled jumper that you probably should iron, but who irons a hoodie? No one. Check. And a content creator from every single Premier League club who's ready to give their head and heart predictions for the rest of the season. Check. So that's what we're going to do in this video. I've got in touch with a creator from every single Premier League club, and I've asked them to, in 30 seconds, give me their head and heart reaction to the season, and more importantly, their predictions for the end of the season. Where are they going to finish? And we're going to build a head table and a heart table. I'll be there holding your hands the whole way. Not all of you. It's not possible, metaphorically. Reacting to some of these clips because I haven't watched a single one of them as of yet, and I will be looking at them as they come through, okay? So, Arsenal fans, you're going to have to wait. Yeah. Right, let's begin. Let's see where people believe they're going to finish when it comes to the head and when it comes to the heart. No penis predictions, by the way. Or vagina ones. Shame. Right then, let's do this. Head over to the old Geegaloodle Drive. And there you are, 20. For those of you, I don't know, it's just quick. That's actually 19 because Howson, I'm still waiting for your video. Hey, I'll do it, mate. I'll do it, mate. This is how he talks. When he's not on camera, honestly, he's not got a Manchester accent. Yeah, I'll do it, mate. No, don't worry about it. I'll do it for you. Well, do it then and send it to me. You do it on your phone. You send it on WhatsApp. It's that easy. So there's 20 at the moment. 19 at the moment. But I'm sure his is on its way in. Excited. Right, let's begin.
I think my head is probably saying 17th, stay in the Premier League, but my heart thinks we can go a little bit higher. I don't think it'll be an amazing season for Wolves, but I think we'll sort of finish above some of these teams that are struggling alongside ourselves at the moment and probably go with a 15th. So, yeah, my heart is saying a 15th place finish for Wolves.
Interesting for Dave. The Wolves fans, I think they're a little bit beaten down. So it's amazing the change. If you think of how well they were doing sort of around this time last season, and now they find themselves being okay with just staying up. So head just says 17th, just staying up for Wolves. The big thing that I think plays on Wolves' minds, not the animal Wolves, the fans of Wolves, fans of Wolverhampton Wanderers Football Club, what plays on their mind, of course, is the goals. And can they get the goals? I think they should be okay, and I think they will be okay. But I'm intrigued to see that there's not that same head and heart gap. They feel like Dave feels like they're going to be right down the bottom this year. Next up. Oh, it's Tommy Jordan from back of the net.
Predicting how our season's going to end is not easy at the moment. Results-wise, we don't look in a good place, but then new ownership.
Do you know what I love is that Tom's sat down, isn't he? Tom's like, I've done this. I've filmed like this, and I remember getting comments and people going, James, if you're okay, just blink twice because it looks like you're kind of like being held captive. And essentially, Tom Jordan is, as a Bournemouth fan, but he is up against this wall, and they are up against the wall themselves. Let's go back and hear what he's actually got to say instead of just taking the piss out of him.
And is not easy at the moment. Results-wise, we don't look in a good place, but then new ownership could end up helping us out. I think if I'm going purely by my head, I think we probably will go down. I'll go 19th. But if I'm going to use my heart, and remember, you always follow your heart, 17th, safety, will be absolutely fine.
Absolutely fine. So 2 teams finishing in 17th place at the moment. Exciting Premier League season we're going to have with 2 teams finishing in 17th according to the Hearts. No, the head. Well, there's a mix up there. We'll have a look at the table soon enough. Interesting when it comes to Bournemouth. That new ownership does mean that they could throw a bit of a check at it. And I do think they've got a really good team spirit. I always keep thinking about, especially at this time, I think about what happens once it gets to March and it gets crazy. So are they going to be able to bring in the players to allow them to make those crazy wins that they're going to need to stay up? Let me know. Comments down below. Do you think how many players away are they? Because I think they have got a good team spirit. But Tom, I think Tom's bang on there, and he's very, very, very smart in his predictions there, because 17th is all the Bournemouth fans want. And just to be clear, Tom, if you just comment down below, just let us know that you're fine. Was that a 1 blink or a 2 blink? Can we get a slow-mo replay on that, by the way? Did I get the 1 or did it turn into a 2? Which always looks a bit just not as good, does it? Right, next up, Daniel from Hopkins Looks to Curl One In podcast. Hilarious on Twitter. He's just started a YouTube channel. There's a link in the description. Go and support the boy. He's an absolute legend. Let's see what he's got to say when it comes to Crystal Palace this season. Okay, we go.
Hi, James. In terms of the Crystal Palace head and heart prediction for the end of this season, I think it's probably fair to say that my perspective on Palace has altered quite dramatically over the last few weeks, just before the World Cup break and after, because we were on quite a good trajectory, and now things, as we are at the beginning of January or the middle part of January, are pretty grim. So in terms of a heart prediction, I'll go with 10th, but I think if I'm being realistic, my head prediction is probably around 16th, if truth be told, given the general trend at Crystal Palace.
Wow. Danny boy. I did not expect to see such cynicism. That's really surprised me, that. But obviously, not all is well at Crystal Palace, who are generally a philosophical and optimistic bunch. 10th, 16th. That's fascinating. Did not expect that.
My heart is saying around 11th. We'll recover a few of them bad losses we've had at the beginning of the season. But my head, unfortunately, is telling me that Moyes isn't the man for the job. And he may be out of ideas, and that we'll go down. We'll finish around 19th and crash out of Europe in the next round. I hope I'm wrong. Catch you later.
Nicky, what are you saying? You think when... Wow. Isn't this fascinating to see where people are at? Obviously, form plays a part in all of this. I did not expect that at all. Going down. Do you know what that is? That's post-traumatic stress from that season where they went down. They had like Defoe and Carrick and all these like unbelievable players, and everyone was like, they're too good to go down. They're too good to go down. But he knows. Nicky knows. He's been through it. Wow. This is shaping up. This table at the end of it is going to look fascinating to see where people are putting them when it comes to the head and the heart. He's in a tough place, though, Nicky boy. Nicky, you know, that room looks maybe a touch too dark. Get out and get some sunlight, all right? Well, I don't know. Do whatever you want, because, you know, I love you, and you could crush me with your thumb. Next up. Boovy!
Right, these are my head and my heart predictions for the Premier League. I'm going to be boring, James. Man City are going to win the Premier League. It's in my heart and it's in my head. Firstly...
Whoa. He's going to be boring. I just did not see that coming. Look, he's done me a favour. I don't want to hammer him too much, but you set me up there. Live and learn, Boovy. You should know. You like the bands. Right. Let's see what you got to say.
Firstly, with my head, you have to look at it objectively. I mean, Arsenal, I'd question if they've got 2-3 world-class talents in that squad. Maybe Partey, Saka, of course. You look at who's leading the line. Eddie Nketiah is hardly even Premier League class. He's still unproven. Could come good, of course. But Gabby Jesus was second.
Sorry, I was just like, for the comments, talk to me. 2 or 3 world-class talents. Is that fair? Is that a fair summary? They're young, aren't they? That's the thing. Odegaard, Saka. Do you want to chuck Martinelli in there? He doesn't start. Partey. What is world class? Lots to talk about. Get involved in the comments. Let Boovy know if he's right. I'm sure you will.
Second choice for Man City, and now he's starting for Arsenal. The gulf in quality between Arsenal and Man City is absolutely insane. And my heart, you have to go with what I've seen as a fan of City for the last 5 years. We've been unbelievable. Back-to-back Premier League.
No Champions League then.
Wins without a recognised striker. Never been done before in the Premier League. And you have to look at kind of the energy, the enthusiasm in this squad. We're still a very young, vibrant squad. Everyone's desperate to win. We're still pressing high up from the front. Not some of the best performances in the last 5 games in the Premier League, but we're still working extremely hard. Players want to be there. They want to fight for Guardiola. And eventually that will materialise into 6, 7, 8 wins in a row, beating Arsenal home and away. And I think we'll come away and win it.
I love his face. I mean, not there. I mean, don't know what that is. There's a joke, isn't there? There's a meme. I'll leave it. Look, to be fair to Boovy, what are we expecting? We're expecting Man City to go and win it. I'm similar. So he was snookered there. He was cornered. There's nothing he could do. He had to do that, and he's made it, and he's done it in his own beautiful style. Well done, Boovie. Hello. Sorry, Baz. I love you so much. Look at it. Look at the physique on this guy. Yummy man.
My head prediction says...
I am fascinated for this one because they're so passionate, but they've been through the mill so many times. Here we go.
17th. I think Everton might just have enough to stave off relegation if we bring in some attacking players this month.
See, Baz was a baller, by the way, and apparently he was a striker. Like a let's say young Tony Cottee back in the day. So maybe, again, let's have a look at that physique. Lace up the boots. Let's do this.
My heart prediction says 12th. Everton will have a tremendous finish to the season and finish 12th.
12. Go on, Baz. Why not? I like that. Do you know what? I rate that. Go big with your heart. Got to go big with your heart sometimes. The heart is a place without fear. It's going... Because actually, there are some good players at Everton. I mean, 12 is punchy, I've got to be honest. But it's still pretty tight up there. Funny time for Everton right now. We've actually done a video on how to fix Everton and ensure that they survive. Make sure you go check out that video if you haven't watched it. And as I said, go check out Tottenham TV. It's Ellis Patton. Ellis Patton is a Leeds United fan. And he's got lots of clothes.
As a Leeds fan, Head says we have no game plan, can't retain a ball, but I think there's 3 worse teams than us. Head says 17th, Heart says 15th, so I don't have to go through the stress of last season again. So Head 17th, Heart 15th.
Okay, again, not an outrageous amount of optimism for them. I think, and do you know what, I'll be honest, I have changed my mind so many different times, but I keep looking at the table and I keep thinking it's between Leeds and Everton. And it's interesting that they're all kind of putting them around that 15th, 17th. There's a lot of 17ths knocking about here. This is going to be a funny little table to look at the end of this video. Let's keep moving. Okay, next up, who we got? Oh, Emil.
As for what my heart...
I mean, what great hair. Can we just... May I?
Heart says, I would love to think that Newcastle...
So he's a Newcastle fan, obviously, by the way.
...could potentially break into that top 3. Now... I'm not really sure where we're going to get to because, to be honest, I'll need to see us play Man City and Arsenal again to really gauge what we're going to do. But look, Arsenal have to come to St James's Park. We did them last season. I think this might be the first season we can go to Manchester City and maybe pick something up. So my heart says 2nd place.
I don't think he gave me my head. He didn't give his head. Did he? Did I miss it?
As for what my heart says, I would...
Has he done it in 2 clips?
What my heart...
Bear with. Is it this next one? He's back. Okay.
My head is saying that I think we will probably finish somewhere around where we are now. You've seen the reaction from teams when we've played them. Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United. I think we're rattling a fair few of the teams up there. And I think we will continue to pick up results. So... let's say 4th this season.
Okay, so 4th with the head. I like this. Now, Newcastle fans are going to get angry at me, and that's fine, but I have to give my opinion. I still believe, and I said this on Sky the other day, I just think from what I've seen of football over the years, right now it's easy to be like free and flowing, and I do think St James's Park could make a massive impact on Newcastle getting into the Champions League because they're on the crest of a wave and it feels great. And I would really actually like Newcastle to get into the Champions League because they haven't outrageously overspent. If you're thinking about money that is, in the Premier League this season. I just think that there will be a tensing up. I know I keep saying that and there's no way around that. And if I'm wrong, then I'm totally fine with it. But I just feel like there will be that tensing up and it's going to be 4th at best. I can't see I can't see third at the moment. But maybe that's like, obviously, those home games, it would just be so intense that it would just take them to that next level. I think we saw that a lot. And that's at the front of my mind with Argentina in the World Cup. They had so many fans there. It made a huge difference. Could be the same for Newcastle. Enjoying yourself? Are you? And you haven't subscribed? Come on! Hit the button for me. Hit the like button as well, guys. If you like these new different ideas. Is anyone else thinking about head and heart tables? No. Smash it. Please. Rory Jennings, who is a class act. I'll tell you why. Two things. Here's a prediction. First of all, didn't use selfie mode. I appreciate that because he wanted the best quality he could get. Also, if you really want to look into this, look how many lights there are to the left of him. And also, he's a passionate man, so I expect a passionate prediction outside one of his favourite passions, showering. Here's a prediction. I bet he says he's honoured because he's lovely and he does that often.
Mr. James Lawrence Allcott, as always, I am honoured to be on your channel. Thank you so much for having me. Where are Chelsea going to finish? I'm going to give you the prediction that I believe is going to happen. I think that Graham Potter has so much work to do. I think that Chelsea's entire approach is currently all over the place, and I think that our squad is threadbare of the quality that we will need to rise up the table.
Sorry.
And I therefore, sadly...
Sorry. I forget the injuries. Oh, and he did say quality. Well done. God, he's articulate.
That Chelsea are going to finish in 7th.
Okay, so head says 7th. What does his heart say? Let's have a look.
However, my heart is a lot more optimistic.
Wouldn't it be amazing if Makola just came out of the shower? You're coming in or what? Like, is that Manchester? What's Manchester? You coming in or what, you div? Nah.
I believe that Graham Potter can get it right. I believe that Graham Potter can stop being a former Brighton manager and actually be a Chelsea manager. He can occupy the role of Chelsea manager.
Sorry, this is class. Can I get a rewind and can we put dramatic music on? Because no one does it like Rory. Unbelievable stuff. I'm playing that again. Here we go. Heart.
However, my heart is a lot more optimistic. I believe that Graham Potter can get it right. I believe that Graham Potter can stop being a former Brighton manager and actually be a Chelsea manager. He can occupy the role of Chelsea manager and adopt the winner's mentality that was so prevalent in all of those who sat in the hot seat before him, whether it's Ancelotti, Mourinho or Thomas Tuchel. So with all of that in mind, I'm going to say that things can go...
All of whom didn't last 3 years. Just that. Sorry, I can't help it. Come on, what are you saying then, Rory?
Well, for Chelsea, we're going to rise up the table and we're going to finish in 5th.
Oh.
But crucially, we're going to win a European Cup. See you in Istanbul.
Amazing. Good stuff, Rory. Very, very clever stuff from Rory. And that would be very Chelsea. See, again, it's like, it's the years, the layer upon layer of football fandom that allows you to know what will probably happen. And Chelsea, despite probably finishing 7th or lower, the way it's looking at this moment in time, despite, all the transfers that seem to be coming in, all the money seem to be spending, they probably still will somehow win the FA Cup because they just constantly win trophies, don't they? Although, that was under the old regime, and there's a new regime in town. Time will tell. Who are you? Who are you? It's the Mate. Paul Machin, what are we saying?
Hey James, it's Paul here from Mate TV.
I know, Paul.
Redmen TV.
I asked you to do it.
Liverpool. As far as my heart goes, listen, I've just come off the back of watching Liverpool in the last 5 years with every trophy there is to win. So my heart believes...
Had to get that in, didn't he? Had to get that in. I'm talking about the here and now. Fair enough. Imagine winning everything. Ugh, that would be so nice.
That we're still that Liverpool and that Liverpool. Yeah. So my heart believes that we're still that Liverpool and that Liverpool can achieve big, big things. And in that regard, yes, a title I still think would be beyond us.
Oof.
But I think that Liverpool could comfortably finish top 4, 3rd perhaps, and lift another piece of silverware. So an FA Cup, and I've got a strong feeling about the Champions League this year.
If you're a Liverpool fan and you don't have a big feeling about the Champions League, every year you're not a Liverpool fan. Simple as that. There's some weird, like, you know, that girl or guy in the club that regardless of like when you've last seen them, there's just something. You know, there's a magnetism. You're drawn towards each other. That is Liverpool in the Champions League.
Piece of silverware. So an FA Cup, and I've got a strong feeling about the Champions League this year. My head, unfortunately, we feel very much like a team that, and I recognise this behaviour, is going to be scrapping for fourth. They don't look like a team capable of doing more than 3 or 4 wins back-to-back before losing 1 or 2, dropping some points. Very much in the pack with the teams like United and Newcastle will be there. And where Arsenal have been for a number of years. Yeah, my real fear is Liverpool are probably going to be in that pack between 4th and 6th.
So what you say is it 4th and 6th?
Be in that pack between 4th and 6th.
But where, Paul? I'm gonna have to message you and ask. Yeah. Okay. Words coming in from Paul Machin that his head is going 5th. It's Chris Hamill. He's my Leicester City representative.
So here I am.
Whoa, that's an earring. I was not aware of that before we started filming. That's got nothing to do with me. Not everyone can pull off that.
Daily Studio recording for the big man, James Lawrence Allcott. He's asked me to predict with my heart and head where Leicester City are going to finish in the Premier League.
Oh, come on then.
Not strictly a Leicester fan.
Lovely Fred
just
Perry
from
top.
Leicester.
So
you
I thought it was a Leicester City fan.
If you are a true fox, I suppose I'm the best James could muster. Poor form from you, Allcott, if anything.
Fair enough.
My head says Leicester are going to finish 14th. Any team with a centre-back pairing of Feiss and Amati is in big, big trouble. My heart says that when the likes of James Maddison return, if Tielemans is still with Leicester after January, which my heart does say he will be, letting him go for free in the summer.
Oof.
And Patson Dacro in that
get on with it,
sort of form, then maybe 12th. So pretty bleak. Either way, I hope that's what you required from me, James. Felt about 30 seconds. So.
Yeah. 1 minute 12. So we can work on that. Give me a call. We can work on that. Hamill, I love you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. You look phenomenal. Let's just be clear with that. Interesting stuff. I think, look, do you know what? We did a video on the top 10 free agents when it comes to the summer. Go check that video out. And Tielemans is in that video. The fact that he's going to go for free in the summer it's atrocious, really. And would they have been able to stay up without him? I don't think he's been that great this year. I mean, it's easier said, in hindsight. But yeah, it's interesting. Again, there's a lot of fear washing about here, and the choice to be bullish and optimistic is a tough one. And not many have got the minerals. Even when they've got their heart, like it's there, it's a platform. Let me hear your heart. Listen to your heart. Okay.
It's fair to say that we have had a fantastic season so far. A very well-run club, a fantastic manager replacing.
I mean, he got straight into it, didn't he? To be fair to him, which I appreciate. But just to be clear, Fusion Josh over his right shoulder, you can see it.
Potter, De Zerbi's on fire. Exceptional talent in this team.
Hang on, De Zerbi's on fire. Has he just done a jump cut as well? Oh my word, this is delicious.
We have had a fantastic season so far. A very well-run club, a fantastic manager replacing Potter. De Zerbi's on fire. Exceptional talent in this team. And the recruitment is probably the best in the Premier League right now. It's all very positive right now. We're all starting to believe that we can achieve European football. And that is why my heart tells me that we will finish in 7th place. Europa Conference is a realistic goal of how we are playing right now. However, my head still thinks we'll narrowly miss out on European football. I reckon we'll finish in 8th place. The mental factor of it all, with the inexperience in our squad, might get to the players, and that is why I think we'll finish in 8th place. But it'll be a fantastic season if we end there.
Love that. Great energy from Josh. Great stuff. I like that about Brighton. I think this is the thing. I've been thinking about this a lot recently. It's like you have players that aren't names yet, but they're still good players. And in 18 months' time, they will be those names, like Basuma, like Trossard, Danny Welbeck. Well, he's been a name, of course, for years. And Brighton have got one hell of a team. So I like the optimism. I think that to be confident that you're going to be top 10 just shows how amazing the blueprint of Brighton over the last few years has been. Such a well-run club.
I'm going to go, in terms of heart, 7th. The Fulham fans the other day at Leicester singing, we're all going on a European tour. It feels a little bit like that might be on the cards. It would be an amazing thing for Europa Conference League football to be back in SW6 this season. My head, though, I'm going to go a little bit more tepid. I'm going to go for a 12th place finish. Fulham have a relatively small squad. I think we might tail off towards the end of the season. But if you'd given me that before the season began, I would have bitten your hand off for it.
Spot on from Jack. What a broadcaster he is. Again, a great place for optimism for Fulham right now. Again, I do keep thinking about, when you think of like the Big Six, which is now, let's be honest, becoming the Big Seven, for anyone to finish above them and in that top 7, they're going to have to go on a hell of a run. But there are still so many games to be played. So it's just a great place for Jack and Fulham fans to be right now, because they play good football, they score goals, and they're winning games, and then there's no chance of them going down. So absolute dreamland for them. Okay. Who we got?
For Southampton, my heart says that we're going to finish in 17th place. Look, we've got out of relegation predictions.
Another 17th.
We've got a good run of fixtures coming up, and a point, maybe even a win, can change the whole momentum for a season, and we're only 2 points away from that 17th position. However, my head says that we're going to go down. I'm going to say 19th. We don't have enough experience in the squad. Our strikers can't put the ball in the net on a consistent basis. We can't keep clean sheets. Only one this season, and we've not had a new manager bounce. If we're going to stay up, we need a new striker and a midfielder to replace Ori Romeu.
Harry Tizard from Saints score there. I think the other thing that's interesting is no fan is willing, even head or heart, to put them 20th. Because I think most people think it's going to be Southampton and Bournemouth at this moment in time, at the time of recording. Of course, things can change. But neither of them are willing to do that right now, which I find very, very interesting. It is a precarious moment for Southampton. It would be a shock. And most people have got them going down, even Harry. It's my boy.
So, my predictions for the end of the season for Tottenham Hotspur, my head says we will finish 6th. I think the problems are significant at Tottenham, and it's going to take more than a few months and a couple of players to sort it out. Although we did do it last year when we signed Kulusevski and Bentancur, and for that reason, my heart is going to say we're going to still finish in the top 4. We're going to finish 4th because we are going to sign 2 players that change our season once again. Head 6th, heart 4th.
Okay, Champions League football again for Flavy Wavy and Spurs. Spot on, I reckon. Just again, this is, do you know what? Flav was kind of the reason why I thought about doing this video, is because it's that concoction of what could be and what you're seeing. And I think Tottenham is one of those where you're just a bit confused. Chelsea, you're just a bit confused. Arsenal, they haven't gone and done that before, but they're there. So you're just a bit confused.
You've asked me for a head and heart prediction on my beloved Nottingham Forest.
I literally just noticed he's put head and heart there. Cheers, mate. Come on, Forest Fan TV.
Before the season started, I thought we could get 4th, but reality has...
What? Can I just take a minute, please? 4th.
Set in since then. Look, with my heart, I will say Forest will get 11th. We're gelling really well at the moment. But if you ask me with my head, it'll be 17th. It'll be a battle, and we'll survive and still be Premier League next year. Come on, you Reds.
Come on, you Reds.
Hey, James,
it's... Sorry. 4th. Although that wasn't his actual answer. 11th. Sure, why not? There is a few nice little elements starting to come together. I do trust Steve Cooper, and I do trust there's a clear, like, really special connection between the manager and the fans, and I think that's massive, and I think that home form is going to be huge as well. 11th might be a little bit punchy, but you never know. There's always one team that goes on a bit of a run, but again, another team just thinking that they're going to just about scrape over the line. Thank you very much, Wolverine.
This season, my heart is saying that we can have our best place finish for years. We can finally get back into the top 10. So I'm going to say, with my heart, we're going with an 8th place finish. Now my head is saying that we've started to see a couple of little inconsistencies, especially in the Wolves first half. We lost to Stevenage in the FA Cup, which wasn't great. So with that in mind, my head is saying that there's still maybe teething problems ahead. So I'll go with a 12th place. I think the 2 places, 12th and 8th, in and around that is where Aston Villa will finish this season. And it's just if Villa can be consistent, we can finish top half. If not, then it'll be around 12th place.
Spot on, I think, actually, from Luke, Up the Villa podcast. Go check that out, guys. I think I like that. Because I think, look, Emery's come in. Emery? He's a Emery. Unai Emery has come in, and he's obviously, you can see the structure, you can see the understanding, see how intelligent this guy is. But it is obviously going to take time, and there's going to be like blips along the way. Where can they head long term? I think they're obviously going in the right direction. You would imagine Emery would be able to kind of keep that moving. Between now and then, I will be intrigued to see. And I think they will be boxed off in that area. Maybe just a little bit further back. I can't see 8th, personally. Okie doke. Arsenal. Still waiting on Arsenal. Still waiting on Man United. That is just coincidence. Honestly, it's nothing to do with retention, but I am buzzing with it.
Okay,
Sharky,
send him a video about Arsenal and where I think they're going to finish. Prediction from my head and from my heart. So start from my heart, and my heart says we're going to win the league, okay?
Is he mowing the lawn? I presume, he's willing to get his hands dirty, and that's quite the lawn he's got behind him. He's in the background mowing the lawn. He's had a quick look at his phone and gone, Jimbo needs the video, and he needs it bloody now. I've got to do what I've got to do, but I've got things to do, so I'm going to keep the engine running on the lawnmower and get this done and sent to him. Does affect the order quality a little bit, Sharky, but we'll let it go because you're a bloody legend. Okay.
We're first, we've been first from the start of the season all the way till now, and statistically, I think teams that have been this position.
You said they're going to finish first.
Start from my heart, and my heart says we're going to win the league. Okay.
Right.
We're first, we've been first from the
Fair.
start of the season
Okay.
all the way till now, and statistically, I think teams that have been at this position at this point of the season have always won the league. Correct me.
No time for statistics when you're talking about matters of the heart, Sharky. So let me pull you up there. You're just trying to pour reasoning onto your heart.
If I'm wrong, okay, but we're Arsenal, okay. We don't know what's like to win the league. We haven't won the league since 2004. There's a lot of pressure on us, or we're not a young squad. My head says we will win the league, but it'll be close. Okay, so I still think we'll win the league, but what worries me is those 2 Man City games. Okay, if they get 6 out of 6 points from us, then it's game on. And they know what's like to win the league. They're experienced. They've won multiple back-to-back leagues now, and they worry me. So I think if City beat us those 2 games, we lose the league. But I think if we come out of those 2 games with at least 1 win, we win the league.
Oh, so our boy Sharky is saying it's on. It is on. Good answer from Sharky there. I like that, because you don't want to. There's got to come a moment where you've got to be that little bit bullish. And actually, Sharky, I did Dream Teams with Sharky. Go check that out. It was class. And we also did a quick video talking about Arsenal. It was after they'd lost those 3 games at the start of the season. Remember that last season? And he said we'll be fine. We'll finish in the top 6. And he was right. So maybe Sharky could be right again. Come on, Howson. Come on. So you want a head and heart on where United will finish the season? Yes, that's what I messaged you ages ago. And then you called me. I remember you calling me, and you're like with that Cockney accent, which I don't know why you don't do that in your videos. Just going, well, guys, yeah, I was just talking about this video. Is that, you still want that, do you? Yeah, I still want that. That's why I messaged you. Oh, all right, no problem. I'll get that to you ASAP. All right, mate, brilliant. Right, let's have a look at the last few bits and pieces, because Billy the Bee from Brentford, he's an icon in the game. He has his prediction. And I'd forgotten about tiny little Brentford. So here they are.
To be quite honest with you, I predicted at the beginning of the season to come 13th, but obviously halfway through the season, we're doing better than that at the moment now, halfway through the table. So my head is actually saying that I think that we're still going to finish at 10th position. However, my heart is saying that I think that if Ivan Toney comes through his little situation that he's going through at the moment now, we may be able to push for a top 8th place, which would be absolutely unbelievable and unthinkable. So my heart is ruling my head at the moment.
I just want to hate Brentford, but I can't. Thank you, Billy. More breaking news. Howson's finally sent me his video.
Right, head versus heart. Where will United finish? My head thinks we're good enough to get inside the...
Whoa, Stephen, why are you doing that silly accent? Do your real voice. It's a bit late now, isn't it? Time's up against me, so okay, we'll go with this one, but just know that he's a cock.
Right, head versus heart. Where will United finish? My head thinks we're good enough to get inside the top 4. We're going to need a little bit of luck, and we're going to have to ride out some injuries and squad depth issues, and I don't really trust Anthony Martial, but I think other teams are ballsing it up. So I think we should finish 4th. My heart actually thinks we can finish 3rd, which I know is not a lot of difference there, but I actually think that we can get above Newcastle, stay above Newcastle, and if we get a striker, it would be quite comfortable in 3rd.
Okay, Howson finally delivers. I don't think 3rd is the most outrageous shout. I think something's happening there at Man United, and I expect them to strengthen between now and the end of January. Yeah, I think that's going to be a little battle there, 3rd and 4th. You can see the little pairings and battles like shaping up in this table, can't you? So there you have it, and let's show you the final table, the head and heart prediction table with just a few months to go, of course, of the season. And it is fascinating stuff. In terms of the heart of a lot of these teams, there's a lot of force. There's different brackets, isn't there, for sure. 3rd and 4th, Newcastle feeling strong. Newcastle United fans feeling strong right now. Tottenham 4th to 6th, Liverpool 4th to 6th, Chelsea 7th or 5th with Rory's heart in there as well. I was really surprised by Nicky from West Ham Fan TV, 19th. He is not feeling confident about West Ham right now. And obviously for everyone, there's that little bit more optimism when it comes to the heart and then with the head. What I find interesting about this is that there's sort of like dream markers. 17th is clearly a dream marker just to kind of, for those teams that are worried, they just want to survive. That's all they're after. For those teams that kind of don't have the financial clout of that big 7, I think it's now becoming called, in my opinion, 7th is that dream spot. And I think the great thing is that the league is so competitive now. And then you've got that middle ground for those teams that really feel that they've got a little bit too much to go down. But something like 12th is feeling something like it's going to be exciting. Surprised by a few of these, but what I really want to find out is from you guys in the comments down below. How do you feel about your creator club, your team? How do you feel about the head and heart? And out of this list, who do you think's got it spot on? Who do you think's got it completely wrong? And in particular, when it comes to the heart, obviously the heart wants what it wants, but who will get their wish at the end of the season? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this idea and enjoyed the video, then please do consider hitting the like button and, importantly, hitting the subscribe button as well so you don't miss a video. If you've got any fun ideas that you think we should do on the channel, of course, let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much for everyone who got involved and sent in their clips. There's a link to their channel or to their Twitter or whatever it might be in the link in the description. Go and check out your team's creator. Go support them because we've got a bloody good YouTube scene here and they all stepped up and sent me a clip. So massive thank you to them. Massive thank you to you. See you later.